welcome to Paige's Perspective. This week on our Wednesday podcast, we discussed when compassion can go too far. And then on this weekend's Friday Feels, I think that's kind of fun, we're going to talk about how not to give a fuck. Okay, so I'm going to drop the F-bomb a little bit. I'm going to try and keep it a little less than 10, but we will see. I know it sounds harsh and it sounds like it's not who you want to be, or maybe you do want to be more of an IDGAF type of person. I remember that I wanted to be like Matt at some point and be able to not give a shit about my responsibilities, be able to numb out, to escape reality. Man, I wanted to be selfish too. Like, that sounded so effing nice. But I learned throughout my healing process that it wasn't in me to go that far of not giving a fuck. Like, it just wasn't who I was. But I did learn how to find the balance and where to put my F's. So I'm not going to say the F word too much. I will just throw in the word F's and you're going to know what I'm talking about. Let's just go with the flow here. So I do have to credit Matt in teaching me about not giving an F, because like I said, I didn't want to go as far as he did, or I didn't go as far as he did. Like, I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it. I gave too many F's and he didn't give enough. And we finally found the balance within our relationship to where he gives a little bit more F's and I don't. So there's a balance here. If you've listened to some of our episodes, we talk about some of the personal development books that I read that helped me get to this mindset. And I remember reading Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I read it twice. I'm probably going to read it again because things have changed since I first read it, and I can look at it from a different perspective. And that even goes with David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. Like, all these books are on our website because these are books that actually helped me get through some pretty dark times and helped me build myself up a little bit. Some of them might go too far to one side, but again, I'm able to find the balance. And recently, an awesome wheelie posted a YouTube video in our community from someone named Sarah Knight called The Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. This was posted after I had decided to make a Paige's Perspective on not giving a fuck, so it was like perfectly timing. If you're listening, thank you so much for posting that video because it was amazing. And if you're also listen to the video if you haven't yet, because she gives some solid advice on how to not give an F. Okay, so how did I learn this mindset? I'm going to start with some smaller things that have nothing to do with our relationships, because this is where I had to learn to balance my F's. And I'm just going to share some of my experiences within life that might help you in your life. I'm a big believer in starting in small things and then you work your way up to doing the things that are bigger, like within your relationship. So living this life, y'all, is going to teach you where to put your energy and where you can let things go. I don't typically let go of the big things. And back in the day, I'd put a lot of energy into everyday things that at the end of the day didn't truly matter. It was so exhausting for me because I had too much going on and I was trying to make everything perfect. And I realized after time that it was pointless. It wasn't going to help me. I needed to change my mindset and put my F's somewhere else. So, for example, I used to be very intentional on making sure my house was put together before guests would come over, like to the point of almost obsessing over the appearance of my home. Don't get me wrong here, y'all. It's important to have an organized, structured home. It's a lot. It shows a lot about your mental health, and it's good for you to have things that are structured and organized. But also living in a home that's actually lived in. There is a middle ground here. So I found a balance of not giving an F, like if my baseboards weren't perfect, or if there's a bit of clutter on my counter, or maybe the kids left out some toys. I no longer give Fs about people who may judge me based on my home. Like, I don't care. There are people who will walk into my home and you'll see, there's some laundry on the couch, or like I said, there's some clutter on the kitchen table. I used to really, really care about that, but then I realized in the grand scheme of things, like it was pointless. It's not that big of a deal to exhaust myself when I have way more important shit to deal with. So recently I was doing a shoe project for my son and I had to use acetone to clean the shoes. Well, my dumb ass got a ring of it on our wood table. So it's like it took away the layer of wood on top. And this was, oh my gosh, this was probably at least 6 months ago. And we have yet to replace the table because I don't give an F about it right now. I don't care about correcting it right now. I know eventually it will get fixed. Plus it gives it a little bit of character. And my energy is going towards my family and my work and the things that I'm doing right now that really like matter in the big grand scheme of things. And eventually I might get tired of seeing that stupid spot on our table, but for now I just don't care. Like I said, my F's are going towards more important things. So another example of not giving an F is like, I have a shit ton of stretch marks on my tummy from my first pregnancy. I gained a lot of weight because that was when Matt was at his worst and I was eating my feelings. I was not taking care of myself. I was an absolute disaster. I have a lot of extra skin. I've lost a lot of weight from it, but my stomach will never be the same unless I get a tummy tuck. And even then my stretch marks go up so high to where a tummy tuck isn't even going to take them away. But I don't care. I got to where I don't cover them with a swimsuit all the time. I wear a bikini when I can because I don't give an F what anyone thinks of my scars. Like I've posted pictures online. I work out in public places with sports bras and I just don't care. This is me. I go to the grocery store with no makeup. I don't give an F. I wear the same shirt 2 days in a row. I don't give an F. I think that we think that people are judging us. And when we walk into a room, they may be looking at us and judging, but that's not even true. And even if it were true, who cares? They will forget you so quickly. It doesn't matter. That's what gets me through a lot of this. Like, I just know that no one is thinking about these things as hard as I am. So I have to be me and not give an F what anyone thinks. It also doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you because, I mean, unless of course you're harming someone or, you feel like you're doing something that's uncomfortable for somebody else or whatnot, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about here. No one cares if you have laundry piled on your couch. And if they do, so what? That's a lot of energy for them to care how the hell you're living. And listen, I don't have the YOLO attitude of eating junk food daily and doing self-indulgence all the time. Like that's going way too far. I care about being healthy and eating healthy and working out. I put my F's into those things, into self-care and my values. So again, there's that balance. I don't have the best of the best or try to keep up with the Joneses. Like I DGAF, y'all. I accidentally threw away my engagement ring on my son's first birthday. It sucked, but I haven't replaced it yet. That was 10 years ago. So why is this important for this episode? Because I don't give a fuck about the materialistic ring. Like we got married in Vegas. We had a pretty simple wedding. I didn't go through all the stressful details of it all. The marriage is what was important to me, not the wedding. I didn't give a fuck. I try to be down to earth and look at the big picture of things. The superficial man-made up things just don't fully matter to me. And I want my fucks to be given to things that benefit me in the future. So my kid mismatching his clothes at school, I don't care. Him mismatching for an important event, I give a bit of a fuck. We have mismatched furniture because our old chair is comfy and I don't want to get rid of it. Our couch is an absolute disaster because white with kids was a really stupid mistake. I blame Matt for that one. I'm just kidding. But seriously, we live in our home and we don't sweat the small stuff. That's like basically what I'm getting at with this part of the story. But I want to apply this to a bit bigger things. Like let's say you don't want to go to a gathering, either a friend's gathering or family or maybe even work, but you feel obligated because you may get shit for not attending or you feel rude for saying no. Y'all, it's okay to say no. It's okay to not give a reason. It's okay to give a reason. You don't have to please everyone. They get over it quickly. And honestly, we aren't that important to where we'll be hugely missed. And I know that sounds weird, but it's the fact of the matter. They will survive and enjoy the time with or without you. It's okay. Maybe you'd rather sit at home and recharge by watching a mindless show or reading a book. Like it doesn't matter why you don't want to go and you don't have to feel bad for not caring. Like your self-care is really important. It's more important than doing something you feel obligated to do. So yeah, I know we do have to do things we don't want to do sometimes. That's a totally different episode, but that's not what we're talking about here. This is about filling your cup with the F's you truly want to fill it with. My F's go into raising my kids, my marriage, my work, my environment, and my personal development, which would be my self-care. I don't give much F's to the small things that just don't matter that much. Now, if cleaning baseboards is a big deal to you and you want to give a fuck about it, go for it. But it's okay to pick and choose where you give your fucks. So let's go down the addicted partner route. I know this is supposed to be about you, and it is, but this is part of the process. I don't give a fuck about someone's excuse to behave inappropriately. In order to survive and protect ourselves and our kids, we need a little bit of not giving a fuck. So I understood Matt's past and his issues, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt for a bit, but then there came a point where my F's were out. It's almost like my 3 strikes you're out rule. And the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me mentality. I didn't turn into a bitch to him. I just started detaching, setting boundaries, and preparing mentally to move on without him. It's healthy to find a way to not give an F. Like, we can't give an F about everything. It will exhaust us. It will drain us. It will make us go crazy eventually. I'm seriously, this is a very important tool to have in your toolbox. So let's say that you have a problem saying no, and you just, it scares you, you're afraid of the backlash, or it's just like not in you to say no, or you feel rude. No is a full sentence. Or let's say you don't want to go to an event where someone you know is toxic will be there, and you can say, I can't make it this time, thanks for the invite. If they give you shit, so be it. We don't have to take on their opinion. I know that's hard and it takes practice for people pleasers. I get it. But when we learn not to give a fuck, it's like a huge relief and weight lifted from the shoulders. It's not rude to not give an F. It's not selfish. It's okay. We don't go to the extent as an addicted partner. Y'all, they truly don't give a crap about what they're doing or if they're harming someone because they have to do anything to keep their addiction going and cope. Like, I don't want to be like that. My IDGAF attitude is healthy, and it's necessary for me to protect myself and my energy. If I care too much, I'd put myself in a position of losing myself and forgetting what I stand for. Protecting our values comes with a bit of an IDGAF attitude, because if someone violates them, we have a right to reevaluate who we give our energy to. We have to protect our values in order to protect ourselves so we don't lose who we are. If honesty is a value and someone is lying over and over again, yeah, you can have the IDGAF attitude because they are violating your values. I don't care if you're lying is intentional or not. You continue to do it over and over again, and that is harmful. I don't care if your addiction causes you to lie. You lie and the harm impacts me intentionally or not. Let's say you set a boundary and you won't be around someone who is drunk or high and they throw a fit. You have to have the IDGAF attitude if you want to protect yourself and your boundary. Who cares if they throw a fit, y'all? The boundary is for you. Let them throw a fit and do whatever it is you need to do to protect yourself. Remove yourself from the room or the home. So let's say your partner is asking for another chance after you've given them a million chances already. They come back to love bomb you, tell you all the things you want to hear, but you've heard it before. This isn't new. This is a really good opportunity to try to not give an F because they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You've seen this before. It's happened more times than you can count. What makes you think this time is different? Provide short answers, maybe go no contact for a while to help you unravel some things and work on healing, and tell yourself, I don't give an F. It's okay. And I know you might feel guilty, the guilt from the blame game and our partners playing the victim. It's only natural for us to feel guilty because guess what? We care. We have a conscience. However, if we give too many Fs, we begin to hurt ourselves. Y'all, we're grown-ups. I know we learn at a young age to take care of others, but we have to unlearn some things to protect ourselves and our kids. There's a balance here, y'all. Some people just aren't safe, and it's okay to not give an F about everything. It's okay to protect yourself from those who harm you. And what stops us from not giving a fuck is typically the guilt that goes along with doing something different or harsh. And I'm putting that in quotes, like air quotes, because it isn't harsh to take care of ourselves. It isn't harsh to say no. It isn't harsh to not give an F. When someone crosses your boundaries over and over again, they obviously do not give an F about your values, but you need to give an F about your values. And here's the thing. We can't just say IDGIF and not feel guilty. We have to go through the emotions. We have to do the hard things that make us feel uncomfortable. And eventually we realize it was the best thing we could have done for ourselves. I've been here before. I have felt guilt for going no contact, for being blamed. I've been smear campaigned, all the things. But when we gain more clarity and heal, the guilt begins to fade, but it takes time. It's typically false guilt, and our brains are just confused because you're doing something different. It may be overwhelming and it may hurt a bit, but it's not supposed to be easy. Learning how to not give a fuck is growth. And the only way to do it is to practice and understand you're learning how to live by your instincts again. You're rewiring your brain to do new things to protect you when before you thought you were protecting yourself by giving too many fucks. A lot of the time, we are just looking for validation, and we typically won't get validation from those who have harmed us because it messes with their narrative. We get validation from those who understand these dynamics. The peace we feel when we remove ourselves from toxicity, that's validation. We have to quit looking for validation from our partners. If they are still using or even in early sobriety, they may not see their ways, y'all. And you're asking for something that they are not capable of giving. Not at this moment, and maybe not ever, depending on where they are in their life. If they're not working towards personal development or growth, they may not ever see their ways. But I'm here to validate you. It's okay to protect your values with boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say enough is enough. And it's okay to disengage. So as a company, as TUFO, we have boundaries. We don't allow anyone with a substance use disorder who hasn't been sober for at least a year in our community. Have we caught shit for this? Yep. Do we give a fuck? Nope. Because we are protecting our values, and we know what can happen if we allow our boundaries to be broken or crossed. Utilize the same mindset within your relationship. It doesn't matter what they say or feel about your boundaries. Don't give an F on how they will respond, because just expect them to fight your boundaries. If they didn't fight the boundaries, it would be easy to set them and we wouldn't be in this position. We have this mindset that, oh, you know what? I set a boundary, so everything's good now. Yeah, in a perfect world, y'all, we have to be prepared for backlash and not give a fuck how they will respond, because it is in place to protect you. It does not matter how they respond. You know in your heart and in your gut, you are doing the right thing to protect yourself and your kids. What your partner says does not matter. Practice, practice, practice. In order to build ourselves up, we have to make changes within our own mindset, and that's what I'm here for. Keep practicing not giving a fuck, and eventually you will find the balance. Sometimes you'll go too far to the other side. That's okay. It's still better than what you were doing before. You will find the middle ground. All right, y'all, until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.